Thank you, Morris. And thank you, everyone, for making the time to come on. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we are all tuning in from today. And for me, that's the Wurundjeri people, and I pay my respect to elders past, emerging. I really like to start by thanking everyone for the warm welcome. Even before I started, I had people reaching out to me and welcoming me, and I felt very welcome yesterday. And New has been really helpful, as has the executive team as well. And Mark, very kindly from IT, was able to set me up at home as well. So that was terrific. And Morris, thanks for today's session. I had been really keen, like probably a lot of you, to start meeting people in person, but obviously COVID has put another spanner in the works for that. And I'm really looking forward to when we can return to the office, which is, I think it's really important for us all to get back to the office. We'll, of course, be keeping flexible working, but I think that face-to-face collaboration and social interaction that we miss when we're working from home is something that we really need to get back in and do. So I have been incredibly excited about coming to Brimbank. I felt a little bit like a kid on their first day of primary. I'm actually a little bit embarrassed to share that on Sunday morning I got up, I thought it was Monday, because I was just so excited about starting. I'm a long-time resident of the West, and I've heard really positive things about not only the Brimbank community, the councillors, but the organisation itself. And I see it as a real privilege to come and work with you to ensure that we are providing the best possible service to the Brimbank community. And I'm really looking forward to, over the coming months, getting to know you, but also getting to know the organisation, the community and the councillors as well. We did that little activity at the start, just seeing what people had been doing over the last 4 weeks. So it's great to see that some people have had a chance to have a break, get away and catch up with family and friends. For those people who haven't had that chance yet, thank you for working. Your working has enabled others to take a break, and I hope that you have a break scheduled soon. So today was just, the intent of today really was just to have a bit of a short session to be able to show my face, say hi, share a little bit about me in terms of my career, and also a little bit about me as a leader, so that you can get a sense of who I am, and also just to give you a bit of an idea of what my approach is going to be. New CEO coming in. If you do have a burning question that you've got, pop it into the chat. If I can't answer it today, then we can take that offline, and I'll provide a response a little bit later on. So I'll have a look if there's any questions as I get towards the end. So just a little bit about myself. So my background in terms of my career, I started my career as a phys ed and science teacher. I've worked in the recreation industry, I've taught overseas, and I moved from that sort of education sector into the local government sector across at the City of Port Phillip, where I spent 15 years working in everything from youth and recreation to property management, infrastructure, looking after the South Melbourne market, parks and gardens, asset management, community services. So a really great breadth of experience, which is really great insight into the very, very many services that council offers. More recently, I was working for state government for the Department of Transport, where I was responsible for transport for the state. And the great thing about that role is one of my teams was doing some of the transport planning around the Sunshine Precinct. So that's given me a really great understanding of some of the challenges and opportunities that Brimbank has around the Albion and Sunshine Precinct. So I'm looking forward to continuing to work with the Department of Transport and Brimbank councillors and yourselves to try and realise that vision. So that's a little bit about my career, but I guess in terms of who am I as a person, for all of us, we will have people who have influenced who we are. And for me, who I am as a leader has been strongly influenced by my family. So I grew up in Morwell, which is a small town in the Latrobe Valley. My granddad was a farmer, and he had a small farm in between Murbury North and Morwell. And growing up, I spent a lot of time on his farm. And he was someone who was heavily involved in the community. So the CFA, he was one of 5 people who actually personally built the Murray North Golf Club. They went up there with their tractors and built all the greens. And he taught me how important it is, how important your word is. And so he used to say, your word is your bond. So from him, I learned the importance of always doing what you say you will do. My parents were quite influential on who I am as well. They very much installed in us the importance of education and equity and access to facilities and services for everyone, regardless of who you are or where you live. So that's something that is really important to me. And I think that education background is also has what's made what I'm quite passionate about as a leader is helping others to develop and be the best that they can do as well. And I'm sure that has come from my mother. The other, I think, strong influence from my mum is she very much taught me that the community is where our strengths are and that you should always work with the community and capitalise on their skills, passion and experience as well. So that's something that I bring to working in the public sector. And finally, I guess from a family perspective, what's influenced me as a leader is as my parents, my father and his family, they moved across to Australia when he was quite young from Scotland. So from my gran, I really learned about the importance and value of hard work and the importance of always doing the right thing, even if sometimes the right thing is the harder thing to do. And finally, I would say in terms of influence for me as a person, it's what I've learned whilst I've worked across local and state government. And what I've learned is the importance of providing value to the community and the importance of having a community first approach. And that was one of the things that attracted me to Brimbank Council is you do have a community first approach. You are committed to doing that with your community. And that's something that's really important to me and what I would certainly like to see us continue to build on and provide to ensure that we're providing the right services in the most efficient way to the community when they need it. So I guess, you know, we've got a new CEO coming into the organisation. You know, what do I intend to do? I'm really keen to understand the organisation. What are the priorities? And to do this, I'm going to be throwing my net wide and far. So I'm going to be meeting people from across the organisation, meeting the councillors, talking to community, talking to key stakeholders, and I'm going to be asking some questions. So what are you doing well? Where are the areas that we can improve? What should be focused? And I'm really keen to hear and get some of that feedback from you. So later on this week, I'll be distributing an email to all staff that will have a really short survey in it. It'll just be 4 questions. It would probably take you 5 to 10 minutes to do. And I'd really encourage you to take up that opportunity because I'm really keen to hear from you what's working well and where can we improve. Over the next 6 months as well, I'm going to try and attend some of your department meetings so I can get to meet you on a smaller scale than what we're doing now, which is an opportunity for you to talk to me and me to talk to you as well. So I'll be working with Anu to do that over the coming months as well. But when we do get back into the building, if you do see me wandering around, please come up and introduce yourself. I met some of the ladies who work down in customer service when I came into the office to set myself up yesterday, and they were incredibly welcoming as well. So please do reach out when we are back in the building and you can see me. So before I finish up, and I'll just have a look to see if we do have any questions. There's a couple of people I would like to acknowledge. So I'd really like to acknowledge Warren. Warren has stayed on for an extra 2 days to ensure that I get a really smooth handover, and he's been incredibly generous in sharing some of his observations and his extensive experience as a CEO. So I very much appreciate that, Warren. The ELT, the executive team I met yesterday have also been incredibly welcoming as well. So I thank them for that. And of course, Anu has just been terrific. And thanks to Mark, who came and set up my IT equipment for me as well. So I guess that's really it for me. I'd really like to thank everyone for popping in. If anyone has got any questions, you can pop that into the chat. We've got a little bit of time, so if there are any questions, I'm I'm happy to take a question. Thank you. Welcome, Fiona. Thank you. So I'll just give it a little bit more time. The football team, that's the gold question, is it? Well, I guess I'm a little bit embarrassed to say, whilst I do live in the West and I live quite close to Western Bulldogs, I'm actually a long-time Geelong supporter. I do like my football. Dog lover. We have a 1-year-old German short-haired pointer, so yes, I am a dog lover. Oh, great! So we have some new customer service officers who joined last week. So great, Amanda. It's a great opportunity to introduce them as well. So Glenn, thank you. So I met the councillors obviously through the interview process. I had my first catch up with the Mayor, and tomorrow I'll be attending Australia Day, so I'll have an opportunity to meet all the councillors face to face tomorrow. Yeah. No, Pam, I'm not a library member, but I love to read. So when I was at the City of Port Phillip, I was constantly had a big pile of books by my bedside table. And when my nieces were young and they thought it was fantastic that I worked somewhere where I had access to the library. So I am a big fan of libraries. So a wide hair pointer, so you know how much work they are. Thank you for the question. All right, so I'm really keen that we have some regular town halls where there's an opportunity to come together, so myself and the executive team can you know, talk to you about what's going on, and also to get feedback from you as well. So we'll look to set these up so there's a little bit of interaction as well. Hobbies. I do like to eat, but I do like to exercise. So I am a really big walker. Who is your inspiration leader person? Oh, that is a good question. I think someone who has always inspired me for a long time is Nelson Mandela, but I will have to say that I have heard Jacinda Ardern speak, and I think she's a pretty inspirational leader in terms of her leadership style. Our favourite cuisine. Oh, I don't know. That one's probably a bit hard because I do like my food. What do I like? I do like Indian. Oh, my favourite destination you've travelled to. Well, I confess that I am a massive pre-COVID. I was a massive traveller, so I have been to lots of countries, but Africa would be one of my top destinations that I've been to. Yes, operations centre. Yes, I've already had a conversation with Neil around when there might be an opportunity to get down there. Notwithstanding at the moment, we're trying to maintain that COVID bubble environment down there, but I am keen to not just get down to the operations centre, but to get out and about across the municipality as well. So I'm hoping to organise some tours with the executive team and also with the councillors in their ward groups as well. Oh yes, I have been hearing about the Vietnamese food in Sunshine, and Calvin pointed out to me yesterday where was the best place to get a banh mi, so that was nice. Favorite TV shows. Oh, that's a good question. I don't watch a lot of TV. I do like, when you know you're old, when you say, I do like SBS and ABC, some of the shows that are on there. I have lots of contacts at Port Phillip, Carol. All right. So in terms of that question about KPIs, I haven't yet set them through with the councillors, but in the first 3 months, some of the things that will be priorities for me is the first one is around advocacy. We've obviously got the federal election around the corner and state government coming up. So advocacy, getting out in the organisation, and as I said, understanding where some of the opportunities are. So they're probably at the moment just two key things I'm thinking about. So in terms of my vision, that's a really big question, and rather than me sort of saying this is what my vision is, I really want to understand the current state for Brimbank. But I guess in terms of what I want to see out there, I want to see from the organisational perspective a really high performing culture where it's collaborative, where people have the opportunity to learn and be themselves, and where we're absolutely putting the customer first. I think there's some incredible opportunities in Brimbank in terms of infrastructure and what that can mean to the community. But I'll come back to you with that broader vision one, Cassandra. So I see there's a question around finalising the EB, so I'll take that one on notice, and that's perhaps something that we can update you on through the regular comms that comes out. All right, well, there's a bit of a slowdown in questions, so I might wrap it up there. Thanks very much for people popping along. I've been able to see a few faces as I've been speaking. So as I said, really looking forward to getting to meet people in person. Hopefully we get a bit more understanding this week from state government around the order around working from home, and give a bit of an update on when we might be able to start returning to the office. So I'll let everyone go. Have a great day, and yeah, looking forward to learning more about Brimbank and getting to know all of you. Thank you.